Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This will be a review on the Enterbay Batman quarter scale figure. This is the Batman Begins suit. However, the figure is actually based on Batman in The Dark Knight, at least in the first kind of 15-20 minutes of the movie when he was still wearing his original bat suit. So if you go looking for it on eBay and you type in Enterbay Batman, and a picture of the box comes up and it says The Dark Knight on the front and you're confused as to whether or not you're about to spend the money on the right suit, this is the one you'll be getting. Enterbay only ever made one Batman figure and they knocked it out of the park first time. It's not a perfect figure and I'll get to that during this review. This is the grail of my collection. It's my favorite thing in this room, and that's a very, very bold statement because there are some incredibly awesome things in here. But this is number one. This is the Beast. It's absolutely awesome. This is my favorite bat suit ever made, ever put on film. Batman Begins, I strongly believe to be the best Batman film ever made. I know everyone loves The Dark Knight, and a big part of that is because of the Joker. He was incredible. Heath Ledger was amazing and always will be. But we're talking about Batman here, and Batman Begins is the one to beat for me. I hope it never gets beat because it's perfection as far as I'm concerned, and this suit from the movie, perfectly executed here by Enterbay. It's the perfect balance between intimidation and hope. I want to give a shout out to the YouTuber named Charlie War. He is the man who made the awesome music that you're hearing in the background. It's very Batman-esque. It's, it's totally made by Charlie, so there's nothing to worry about copyright-wise. Well, other than the fact that Charlie wrote it and it belongs to him. But I did get in touch with him on his YouTube channel when I heard the music and said, "Excuse me, Charlie, you mind if I use your track for an upcoming Batman Begins video? I'll give you full credit and put your a channel link in the description so folks can check you out." And definitely do that, folks. Check out Charlie War on YouTube. He makes some great music, some really good original music. And he was really cool and allowed me to use his track in this video. Now, to make it a bit longer, because the track's actually about 3 minutes, I needed it to be a lot longer than that for this video, so I've had to slow it down and kind of stretch it out a little bit on Virtual DJ, but I hope Charlie doesn't mind too much. But if you want to hear the original actual track, go to Charlie War's channel and check it out because he is awesome at what he does. Thanks very much, Charlie, for letting me use your music during this video. Folks out there who've been with this channel for some years will know that this is certainly not the first time I've reviewed this figure. This will be the third time I've reviewed it. The first time was way back over 7 years ago when this piece was actually released, and the quality of the camera I was using back then wasn't so great, and everything's improved a fair bit since those days. So I reviewed it a second time. However, that review was recently blocked on YouTube due to the copyrighted music that I used in some part of that review. I can't remember, it's been a very long time since I saw it. I think it was Hans Zimmer, Batman Begins music, and I must have used it at some part during the review, so that's no longer on the channel. So it gives me a good excuse to talk about the figure that I love and show you some cool angles. I won't be posing him much because that's the thing about the Enterbay Batman. It's not got the best body. It's fine, it stands up great and the proportions are nice, but as far as lifting the arms up and bending the elbows and bending the knees, you can do all that. And it's fine when when it was first released 7 years ago, it was pretty good at holding a pose. But as the years have gone on, it's just kind of, it can still bend the elbow. I wouldn't want to mess with it too much. I could just tell years of experience and handling different figures. When I move the arms on this guy now, it's kind of telling me, leave me alone, just let me stand here with my arms down by my sides, get me a nice black velvet cape and wrap it around me like so, tilt my head down a little bit, put the moody mouth plate in, get the eyes looking up, and just let me be what I am. And that is one hell of a Batman figure. I do have to mention that some of these accessories are starting to lose their gold kind of color. I mean, you can kind of see a little bit of the original gold tinge there, but I mean, these were really gold. They were the same color as these accessories. You can see the difference over time. These ones in particular are just starting to get a bit discolored and nasty looking. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to display that on his belt anymore because it just completely doesn't match, you know, up with this. I mean, it's really different. So, I mean, I don't really use these belt accessories on the Enterbay Batman very much. They never were that much fun to work with. I mean, they are magnetized. They, you know, they stick onto the belt, but they fall off, and as soon as you touch them, they kind of wobble around, and it's a bit of a pain in the butt. So I just usually rock them with a plain belt. These ones getting a little bit sort of discolored, like in the middle there, in the middle of the Batarang. That's looking a bit rough. I'm not sure why. But all the accessories were plastic here. Nothing was metal. That one's looking a bit discolored as well. I don't know if that's coming up on camera. But yeah, you can see it's getting a bit messy looking. Like over 7 years old now, but still, if these were metal, you know, then maybe they would have held up a bit better. There's his phone. It's his bat phone. And you've got these big foldable Batarangs. They fold up. There's two of them. They open up into big Batarangs and they just go on there. Magnet on the back, goes on the belt. Pouch thing here that holds the grapnel gun. These are the little cartridges that stick in and then shoot out. So that's quite nice. But that's the color it should be. This one's holding up alright color wise. And some of these smaller ones, that's starting to look a little bit manky, but it's still kind of the same tone as this one here. But yeah, that's not good. Over time, these pouches and accessories are losing their color. They're starting to discolor and get darker. I'm afraid I can't find his hands, guys. I've looked in all of my drawers in the desk here, all the accessories. Every one of these drawers is for a different kind of thing, you know, heads, hands, clothing, weapons, all that stuff. But I've been through every single drawer and I can't track down his hands anywhere. I mean, I obviously have them somewhere, but I don't know, maybe they're in the loft for some reason. Maybe they're in the box. That's weird. Anyway, he comes with a bunch of hands, you know, for holding the accessories, holding the grapnel gun, fists, relaxed hands, the usual. You get the idea. Now he comes with 3 Batman cowls and 3 different mouth plates. The reason he comes with 3 different Batman heads is because the eyes are sculpted and painted. They're all part of the sculpt of the cowl itself, and each head has the eyes in a different position. This one, he's obviously looking off to the left, and this one we'll be looking off to the right, and then this one that is on the figure right now, those eyes are looking forward and slightly up. Now this head sculpt here, I did respray this with a matte black paint, and the light is shining directly at it, so it's making it look shinier than it really is. But I just noticed a few scratches and scuffs on the actual cowl itself, so I just resprayed it with a matte black spray. These ones I have not resprayed or done anything to them, but it is kind of easy to fix it. If you do get any scratches or blemishes or whatever you want to call it on your cowls, then get yourself some nice matte black spray paint. Just give it a little coat, Obviously, remove the mouth plate first and get some blue tack and put it over his eyeballs. You should be good to go. I mean, that's how I've done mine. I had to respray the whole cowl on my Hot Toys Begins over here. That was completely resprayed and looked a little bit better for it. That's over there. But yeah, it was really cool that they gave you 3 different heads, you know, because they could have just done like a moving eye system, you know, independent moving eyes, the little stick inside the head that you could move, get the eyes into a different position. But it went with 3 separate Batman cowls, and I really like that because you've got 2 backups and get a Bruce Wayne head as well. So let's get a look at that. Here is the Bruce Wayne head. I think this is definitely, well, maybe not my absolute favorite out of all the Bruce Wayne sculpts that I have. I have 1 in 1/6 scale and 2 in 1/4 scale. This is the Enterbay one. I have the Hot Toys one as well, and then the 1/6 scale Toy Fair exclusive Batman Begins Hot Toys Bruce Wayne head, thanks to Derek Fagan. And I just love this. I mean, it looks excellent. It looks so alive and so real. Now, depending on when you sort of angle it and where you turn it, the nose can start to look a bit strange. Maybe the nostrils are a little bit too, I don't know, something going on with certain angles. It starts to lose its perfection. But I mean, from other angles like that, I mean, it's absolutely spot on. And even got the mole in the corner of the eye there. It was a really good head sculpt, this one, guys. Definitely one of my favorites. And I haven't really ever displayed it for a long time with this sculpt, so not that I'm necessarily going to use it on the Beast here, but I could maybe switch out some heads, maybe use this on the NECA 1/4 scale Batman Begins, maybe for a little while, because I do want to display this at least for a few months. It never really gets any love as far as display in my collection goes, but it's absolutely fantastic. I really highly rate this sculpt. It's definitely one of the best, you know, Christian Bale / Bruce Wayne heads that you can get. Look at that. Let's get a quick look at this cowl with the eyes looking off to his right. And just the neutral expression. You can interchange all these mouth plates. And I've always loved the Enterbay mouth plates, all 3 of them. And this one is just pretty much just a neutral straight face. But they absolutely knocked it out of the park with the likeness. I mean, you can really tell that's Christian Bale beneath the cowl. Any angle, it looks incredible. And this is the stock paint on the cowl. In certain angles, when I turn it, you can see some little imperfections, but then when you look dead at it, they kind of go away. So that's interesting. But this is the stock paint, and that one's been repainted. So I'm not sure if I'm going to respray this one. Don't think it's that necessary, and I'd like to keep the other 2 stock paint. So that is a really, really good sculpt. They did an amazing job. I love this cowl, I love the thickness of it. Like a panther. And here's this one where the eyes are looking off to his left. And this is the talking mouth plate. You can't see any teeth inside, but that doesn't, you know, it's never bothered me. I've always thought this is a really impressive mouth plate. And it does look like he's mid-sentence. It's not too intense with the talking kind of vibe. You can sort of tell that he's speaking, but it's quite subdued. Quite subtle. I like it. And that is very, very cool. I mean, any angle. It's just super impressive. Look at that. I don't know. I mean, the nostrils look accurate. I know it sounds funny talking about nostrils, but that's the thing that I look at on this, and I think maybe that's what's wrong with it. But, I mean, if you look there, there's some serious nostril action. The nose is accurate, man. So, I mean, the lighting is terrible right now, but they really, they did a great job. Now, even though this is a grail piece of my collection, one of my absolute favorite things that I own, it's definitely not perfect. I'm about to go through all of the reasons why that is the case. The belt is nice looking. As you saw before, the accessories ain't holding up so well. The ones that attach to this belt, they ain't looking so good. The belt itself, though, is remaining looking very pristine and very nice. However, the way it attaches at the back, when it's done up when when you get them brand new out of the box, the belt will be up here somewhere, like really high. And in order to get it to loosen up and sit at the right level, you basically just have to undo it at the back and then get a bit of string, or I've used like a bit of wire, and very crudely just kind of tie it together so that there's a big gap between the two ends, and then you can get it to sit at the right level as it should be here. The gauntlets are like a soft plastic, and maybe this was done to avoid the risk of people hurting themselves, but they're a little bit too soft, and this one over here is warped a little bit and sort of needs to be straightened back out. But yeah, they're not as shiny as they should be either. Like these should be a more shiny kind of black, contrasting against the kind of charcoal matte finish on the actual suit, which is very accurate. I'll go ahead and I'll get one of my books out in a minute and I'll show you a comparison, because the black velvet cape should contrast against this just the way you're seeing it here. You need that contrast between the jet black, deep black velvet, against this kind of more charcoal black matte finish on the suit. And with the Dark Knight manual book, you get a lot of cool images in here, but this one's a really good one. And you can clearly, just hold it up a bit, you can clearly see the that kind of, it's not just a jet black suit, it's more of a charcoal, dark charcoal kind of matte finish, the cowl included, but then the jet black velvet cape really contrasts against the suit and the cowl. So that's pretty much exactly what you're getting with the Enterbay figure once you apply the velvet cape. You want that contrast between the two. So they did a great job with that. I mean, the actual, whatever this kind of vinylish, kind of weird vinyl rubber, whatever kind of material this is, it's really holding up well over time, and it was really good at not attracting dust. Like, I've never had any issues with this getting dusty. It just doesn't attract dust at all, and it's a very smooth finish. It's just a really, really well done suit. Unfortunately, the body underneath the suit is not the best. It's alright, it does the job when it's just standing there, but like I said at the beginning, the posability is not really holding up too well with this guy, but it looks great, and that's the main thing. I mean, for this particular Batman, I just need him to stand there and look awesome, and he does. Coming back to the body underneath the suit, I've always had this issue where this has been for years now. I remember there was one particular photo session I did, And that was a video on the channel where he was against a white background the whole time. And I think it was a custom velvet cape I was showcasing or something like that. But I had his arms out, fully outstretched, like he was holding his cape wide open. And then when I went to put this arm back down again, it went completely flush like it's supposed to. But this arm has never gone back flush. I mean, it's not sticking out much, but I know it's not down fully. Like there's something going on in the butterfly joint or whatever you call it that's in there. I've never really been able to fix it, but I've never really been too, heavy-handed or forceful with it to try and get it back down again, flush to the body. But I mean, once the cape is wrapped around him and he's looking all broody, or if you tilt him ever so slightly to this side, it all balances out and looks kind of okay. But yeah, definitely not the best body, but the suit is awesome. Alright, so we have the Enterbay Batman on the left here, and he has the custom black velvet cape. And you have the Hot Toys quarter scale Batman Begins over here, and he has a custom Jackson XU cape, which is not velvet. It's a nice thin material, and it's very cleverly designed so you can kind of reposition the cape clips to be in the right position, because the way Hot Toys give you the cape clips, they're just way too far back. But these are basically attached to the cape itself, so you can push them forwards or backwards, whatever you want to do. They kind of just hinge underneath the cowl itself, and it kind of holds them in place. Now the finish on the suit itself doesn't look very accurate on the Hot Toys one. It's too black and it's too shiny, but I admit it does look like that in certain points in the movie and in some of the behind the scenes pictures I've seen as well. But this is definitely the true kind of accurate kind of look that you want. And the belt is kind of an inaccurate tone. It should be more of a bronze like this one over here. And the cowl itself, Hot Toys really gave him a super thick cowl, which I really do love. I really love how that looks from the side profile. It's the thickest cowl anyone has done when it comes to Batman Begins. Let's just see. Enterbay Batman, we turn him to the side. So that's how that looks. And that's how the Hot Toys one looks. But I do think the Enterbay one is a bit more accurate. I don't know what I've said in the past. When I first got this, I might have said this was more accurate, but I have definitely heard quite a few people confirm that the Enterbay one's a little bit more realistic to how it really appeared. And plus we got the life-size cowl over here. If I can just show it from the side, you can see it's thick. But not quite as thick as the way the Hot Toys one appears, but I do like how it looks, regardless of whether it's 100% accurate or not. I do really like that side profile on the Hot Toys one. It's very thick, very intimidating. Enterbay Batman is definitely a bit taller than the Hot Toys one. They both look fantastic though in their own right. I would say, after owning the Hot Toys one for a while now, that is the most recent one to be released. I've had them a while, and I would pretty much tell you that the Enterbay Batman, once you get the velvet cape on there, it's about as accurate as it gets. It still needs work because the gauntlets could be a bit shinier. I do wish the actual gauntlet blades were actually nice and, firm like these ones. These are very sharp. That's like a hard plastic. These are like a very soft plastic. But they both look fantastic. Now, I've already filmed a comparison between all these three figures. That's on the channel, so you can check that out if you want. But I've just brought in the NECA quarter scale Batman Begins figure, but I have used the spare Enterbay head on the NECA body. That is the NECA belt, that is the stock NECA cape. It's all NECA, completely NECA, nothing's been changed there. The actual NECA head sculpt is in this little bag here. It's really, really, really good, and I love the shape of the cowl. It's pretty much perfect. The length of the ears is really good as well. But, the paint job's fine on this mouth area, but I'd love to get that professionally repainted. I did try to remove it because I think it might be a separate piece from the actual cowl itself. If it is, I can just kind of get it out of there one day and then replace it with one of either the Hot Toys mouth plate or the Enterbay mouth plate, because the eyes are fine. It really is very impressive work by NECA. I know we're here to talk about the Enterbay Batman, but I can just get this out. I really do like it. They're all slightly different. When it comes to the cowl, you know, the Enterbay one isn't quite as thick as the Hot Toys one. And the NECA one here is just really, I mean, that looks very accurate to that over there. Just the shape, the kind of way it kind of rounds in on itself. It's very good. Very good. And it looks great on camera. I don't know why I don't use it more often. Really good. So anyway, maybe I should just put that back on and just have it be the complete NECA figure. But it's nice to be able to interchange parts. That's the cool thing about having all three of these. Sometimes I'll switch the belts around, the head sculpts around, capes, gauntlets, depending on what I want to be, you know, depending on how I'm displaying things. Usually the best way to display the Enterbay Batman once you have the velvet cape is to just wrap the cape around him, all moody, you know, like he's usually on display in the room. And then I don't necessarily need to leave the nice sort of high-end looking, even though it's poorly designed, but it does look nice and expensive. And I'll take that belt and I'll put it on the NECA figure to make that one look more expensive. And because you don't really see the belt so much with the moody look for Enterbay, I'll use the NECA belt on him, because you only really see that little bit of the belt in the middle there. And the Hot Toys one in the middle, sometimes I set him up in the first night outlook. I've still got my Bruce Wayne head completely protected underneath this balaclava, or ski mask, whatever you want to call it. The actual mask is not coming into contact with the skin on the sculpt, because I've just completely protected it with kind of plastic, kind of like the plastic that's, you know, this bag is. But it's all underneath the mask, all carefully taped down. And even with the mask on, you can really tell that's Christian Bale in there. But anyway, the great thing about the NECA figure is, because it's all, you know, ratchets and joints and not a rubber suit, you can pose him however you want. Like, you can really go extreme. Check out the pose video that I did with this guy, and you'd be amazed what you can pull off. I mean, had his arm way up in the air, just like about to fire the grapnel gun. Great posability with the NECA figure. It allows you to do things that you're never usually able to do with a Batman Begins figure. I'm sure you can do it with the Mafex piece as well, but that's a lot smaller than this. But the Hot Toys head sculpt goes on this NECA body really well. This Enterbay one, because the neck isn't as thick, you'd have to, you know, use a fair bit of blue tack or something to get it to stay down. But I found that the Hot Toys head just fits on there perfectly, and then the cape holds it down at the back. Anyway, and the NECA figure, let me see if I can just get his head to balance on there just for a minute. So yeah, that's the head that's supposed to be on there. But the NECA figure isn't actually standing on a base, but he's pretty much the same height as the other two, even though he's not on a base. So he must be the tallest of the bunch. Interesting. While I've got all three of them here, I just wanted to kind of just capture the, you know, just the life that's in the, you know, the sculpt underneath the actual cowl. Like the eyes on the Enterbay one here looking off to the left, they're really realistic looking. Really great eyes, sculpted into the mask. And on the Hot Toys one, very realistic, but they cut corners on this one, and they didn't give you moving eyes. There's no option to move the eyes on this one, and that's a damn crime right there, because if any Batman figure should be able to move his eyes as Batman Begins, because he ain't got much in the neck, so at least let him move his eyes, man. But nope, he's stuck looking forward, frozen in time, but it does look amazing. And then the NECA head sculpt, which obviously the paintwork doesn't match up to the high-end stuff, but I still think for the price point, this is just straight up £100 compared to, you know, whatever the Enterbay figure goes for now on eBay. I don't know, I always hear that his prices are crazy. And the Hot Toys one, that wasn't too bad when it was released. But this one right here, the NECA figure, you can pick this up for a very fair price. And you know what you're looking at here is a very impressive likeness to Christian Bale, and a great sculpt on a Batman Begins cowl, and a really nice cape as well. Great posability. I was having a hell of a time trying to push the head sculpt down into the joint there. I mean, probably just best to heat up the neck a little bit with a hairdryer or something. So I haven't pushed it down all the way at all. It's kind of just balancing in there, so his neck will look a bit longer than it should. But it's a great sculpt. Never really displayed it like this. It's a shame. It's a damn shame, because I do love this sculpt by Enterbay. They really captured it with that one. Exceptional. Alright, so I've finished up filming the review now, so I've got him back to his typical kind of pose that I like to keep the Enterbay Batman in. So I'm putting him back up on the shelf. Now, I usually, as well as using the Enterbay base, I usually put that on top of a nice kind of stone DC Collectibles or DC Direct, I think it was. Back in 2005 when Batman Begins came out, I got a statue that came with this awesome base that you can see here. And I'm now using that as the base for the cowl, which worked out perfectly. It's crazy how it all works out in the end. So that just looks like it belongs together. And it's just a beautiful finishing touch to the cowl. Again, massive shout out to Cowl at Toys of Arkham for this amazing Christmas gift here. And the cowl, absolutely love it, incredibly accurate. And Cowl did include a note when I got this, and it had details about who did the mold and or where the mold is from. It's like as accurate as it gets. So I'm so blown away by it. But just to show you, that's what I'm using that base on now. Batman Begins. Awesome. So wrapping up the review, guys, I give it my full marks. Really, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I know it's not really a 10 out of 10 figure. There's too many little issues here and there, and you have to get a custom cape for him to really bring out the best in the figure. But I mean, it's a 10 out of 10 to me. I mean, I'm biased. I love Batman Begins, and I love this suit, and I think Enterbay absolutely knocked it out of the park. 3 different Batman cowl heads, 1 Bruce Wayne head, interchangeable mouth plates, some cool accessories, but unfortunately they should have been metal, and the paint on the accessories seems to be, you know, getting affected by the years as they pass. So, you know, get yourself a nice juicy black velvet custom cape for him, and sometimes you spot them on eBay. They do pop up every now and then, not so much these days, but I'm sure if you keep looking you'll spot one. Pretty soon I might bust out a Batman Begins collectible special with the quarter scale stuff, the 1/6 scale stuff, and the life-size stuff now, thanks to Cowl at Toys of Arkham. I can bring you a nice Batman Begins collectible special. I've got so many versions of the movie as well. Anytime they release a steelbook of it, I gotta kind of grab it. So keep an eye out. I'll do a little Batman Begins special coming up in the future. But I hope you've enjoyed this 3rd time doing this review. Like I said, the first one, you know, got deleted because it wasn't that good. The second one was fine, but it got taken down by YouTube because of the music. So I've had to review it a 3rd time, and I've enjoyed doing it. I always enjoy talking about this piece and just filming this figure. It's an amazing looking piece. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you did enjoy the review, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon next to the subscription button. That way you get notifications every time I upload a video, and you won't miss out on any of the content. And check me out on Instagram and Facebook at DeanKnight333. And you can join up with the Night Vision Army on Patreon if you wish. Help support the channel, doing it full time, so I appreciate any help you can give. This helps me keep those relevant reviews going. And I will stick your name at the end of every video, just like the credits of a movie. All my Patreons are producers of my content. They help me get it done. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon. Oh, we're almost at the end of the year. This may very well be the last video I upload before the end of 2019. So thank you all of you for an incredible year on YouTube. Absolutely one of the best I've had so far. And look forward to next year, 2020. We got Halloween Kills coming out. That's a big one. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm a big Michael Myers fan. You know it's true. So bring on that new movie. And it should be an interesting year. But thank you for an amazing 2019. Take it easy, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.